Homelessness can happen to anyone. A business that goes bust, financial problems, family breakdown, and facing large debts can result in a person having to sell their house and start an itinerant lifestyle looking for work with no stable accommodation and losing contact with one's family. After years of moving around and living on the road, it can be extremely hard to break that habit and settle back into stable accommodation.
Yeah, we're sailing along fine until my marriage broke up. My business then suffered as a result of it. I ended up having to liquidate the business. Ended up by having to sell a house that was tied into the business. So yeah, I also went through a little bit of a few family problems at the time, and sort of become disenfranchised from the rest of my family, and had no support, sort of thing, you know, like started living in unsecured accommodation, boarding houses, pubs, things like that. But at the time they just became too expensive for me to live in. I ended up by hitting the road after, you know, like trying to secure accommodation in Sydney for about 3, nearly 4 years. I ended up by hitting the Harvest Trail, trying to improve my standards. I ended up by going up to central Queensland and trying to get into the mining industry. After about nearly 10 years of you know, following the Harvest Trail and trying to break the cycle of not having any secure accommodation, I ended up by just coming back down to Sydney and, you know, like trying to put my nose to the grindstone and, you know, push the you know, like the process of trying to get a public housing. When you're trying to move out of you know, street sleeping, rough sleeping, and into, you know, boarding houses and things like that, that's when you know, like you know, when you're in that unsecured accommodation type position, that's when it really became difficult. You know, dealing with the people that you know, like that you're mixed in with, that you're living with. You know, trying the financial, you know, side of it, the high cost of that type of accommodation, and you know, like the availability of that, you know, like good, clean, safe accommodations. A little bit of understanding from somebody to at least give me a little bit of a break. As I say, you know, people's lives, people's individual lives, you know, like can sometimes be a whole lot more important than the bottom line, you know. Don't hang back and don't be quiet. So, yeah.